You're walking into a coffee shop you've never been to before, and suddenly, it hits you. You know this place. The way the light falls on the counter, the conversation happening 2 tables over. You've lived this exact moment before, except you haven't. You've never set foot here in your life. That eerie, can't-shake-it feeling has a name. Déjà vu, French for already seen. And here's the wild part. Scientists have been trying to explain it for over 100 years, and only in the last 15 years have we actually started cracking it open with real experiments. Today, we're going to break down what's actually happening in your brain when déjà vu hits. No mysticism, no past lives, just neuroscience. And it's way stranger than you'd think. First, let's define it properly, because déjà vu gets confused with a lot of things. Déjà vu isn't just this feels familiar. It's a very specific, very weird combination of 2 clashing feelings happening at the same time. A strong sense of familiarity, like you've experienced this exact moment before. Full awareness that this is logically impossible. You know you haven't. That clash is the key. It's not a memory. It's not a premonition. It's your brain sending you 2 contradictory signals at once, and you're caught in the middle going, wait, what? Studies suggest somewhere around 60 to 80% of people experience déjà vu at some point in their life, most commonly between ages 15 and 25, and it tends to fade as we get older, which is itself a clue to what's causing it. We'll come back to that. Well-known explanation is called dual processing theory. Here's the simple version. Your brain has 2 separate memory systems running in parallel. One is automatic and fast. It's the subconscious system that goes, this feels familiar, often before you've even consciously registered why. The other is slower and controlled. It's the conscious system that double-checks. Okay, why does this feel familiar? Let me search my actual memories. Normally, these 2 systems work in sync. Something feels familiar because you actually remember it. But every so often, they get a tiny bit out of sync. The fast, this is familiar system fires a split second too early, before the slow system has actually located a real memory to back it up. Think of it like a smoke alarm going off without a fire. The alarm, familiarity, is real, but there's no actual blaze, no real memory causing it. So you're left standing there with a genuine feeling of, I've done this before, and a brain that comes up empty when it actually searches for the matching memory. Simple analogy. Imagine your friend calls out your name before they've fully turned around and seen your face, just from your silhouette or your walk. Their brain matched a pattern faster than it could consciously confirm it. That mismatch, recognition before verification, is basically what dual processing theory says happens during déjà vu. Here's where more recent research gets really interesting. Dr. Ann Cleary, a memory researcher at Colorado State University, has spent years running actual lab experiments on déjà vu, which is incredibly hard to do because you can't exactly schedule someone to have déjà vu on command. Her team's leading explanation is called the Gestalt familiarity hypothesis. Gestalt basically means the whole layout or shape of something, as opposed to its individual details. The idea is this. Déjà vu can be triggered not by remembering a specific event, but by recognizing the spatial arrangement of a scene, even when every individual detail is different. Example, let's say 5 years ago, you were at a friend's birthday party. There was a lamp in the back left corner, a doorway on the right, and a bookshelf along the back wall. You don't consciously remember this party. It's a forgotten, ordinary memory buried somewhere in storage. Now today, you walk into a completely different room, a hotel lobby you've never visited, but it just so happens to have a lamp in the back left, a doorway on the right, and a shelf along the back wall. Same basic layout. Your brain recognizes the shape of the space, not the actual room, and goes, I know this place. Even though you've never seen this exact room, the underlying spatial pattern matches something stored in your memory. Cleary actually tested this using virtual reality, building scenes with matching layouts but totally different content, and people reliably reported more déjà vu in the matching layout scenes. So déjà vu might not be about content at all. It might be about geometry. Here's a theory that completely flips the script. Maybe déjà vu isn't a malfunction at all. Maybe it's a sign your brain is working correctly. Some researchers argue déjà vu happens when your brain's error detection system kicks in. Your brain is constantly quietly checking incoming information against your stored memories, looking for inconsistencies, kind of like a built-in fact checker running in the background 24/7. When that system flags something, hey, this feels like a memory, but I can't verify it. Déjà vu is what that flag feels like from the inside. Under this view, déjà vu is a good sign. It means the part of your brain responsible for catching false memories before they take root is doing its job. You're essentially watching your own memory system catch itself mid-glitch and correct course, like a spell checker underlining a word in red. The underline isn't the mistake. It's the system catching the mistake. This also connects to why déjà vu fades with age. The brain regions involved, particularly the temporal lobe, and a structure deep in there called the hippocampus, which is basically your brain's memory filing system, go through major development during adolescence and young adulthood. Some researchers think déjà vu spikes during this period because that filing system is still calibrating itself and gets more efficient and quieter as we get older. A few real research-backed triggers. Fatigue and stress. An exhausted brain is sloppier at keeping its memory systems in sync, making misfires more likely. Being in a low attention state, if you're mildly distracted or on autopilot, driving a familiar route, scrolling your phone while walking, your brain may be absorbing details subconsciously without you fully registering them. Moments later, when you do pay attention, it feels like you've already seen it, because, in a sense, a part of your brain already had. Travel in new environments. New places naturally have more layout matching opportunities with stored memories, fueling the Gestalt effect. Younger age, again tied to that still calibrating memory system. And on the flip side, if déjà vu becomes extremely frequent, prolonged, or disorienting, a condition researchers call déjà vécu, that's a different story. And it can sometimes be linked to neurological conditions like certain types of epilepsy. That's rare, and not what we're talking about with the occasional fleeting déjà vu most people get. But it's worth a mention so we're not oversimplifying. So, what actually causes déjà vu? The honest answer, there isn't one single confirmed cause yet. There are over 40 competing theories. But the leading ideas converge on something pretty fascinating. Déjà vu probably isn't a window into a past life, or your brain glitching like a simulation. It's far more likely your memory system, fast and slow processing, spatial pattern matching, internal fact-checking, all working at the edges of their design, occasionally tripping over their own wiring. It's not your brain breaking. It's your brain almost catching itself in the act of remembering. Next time déjà vu hits you, instead of feeling unsettled, you can actually appreciate what's happening. Two memory systems briefly out of step, a forgotten layout resurfacing, or your brain's quality control system flagging a glitch before it becomes a false memory. If this kind of why does my brain do that content is your thing, subscribe, because next time we're tackling why you can't tickle yourself and the surprisingly weird psychology behind it. What's the strangest déjà vu moment you've ever had? Drop it in the comments.